and welcome to QUTV News this week. I'm Michael Lanier.
And I'm Lindsay Fisher. Summer has passed, and we will show you how QU is cheering on its athletes as the season begins, and the NCAA football team is seeing more international athletes than ever before.
Plus, fresh practice spaces are being given to the QU wrestlers for a boost for the next season, and new facilities and labs are created for QU's first doctoral program. Some breaking news is that one of QU's former running backs just got arrested by the FBI, and that is where we begin today. Former GLVC All-Conference running back and Quincy running back Kareem Carswell has been arrested in Vero Beach, Florida. This was in a part of an ongoing investigation by the FBI into scamming of $17,000 of a bank card. According to Corey Atwood of the Treasure Coast newspaper, Carswell was arrested when FBI agents and deputies served a federal warrant at a residence in the 1200 block of Preston Estates Circle. Atwood reports that there were over $17,000 in withdrawals from an elderly woman's bank account. There were 10 transactions across Breford, Indian River, Broward, and Miami-Dade counties. Deputies identified Carswell at a casino in Miami as one of two people seen using the woman's card to make transactions totaling over $6,000. Carswell has been released on bail pending court proceedings. Quincy University is making history for the first time. QU will offer a doctoral program. The new programs in occupational therapy and physical therapy are designed to meet healthcare needs while giving students access to real facilities. QUTV's Freya Henson takes us behind the scenes of the brand new lab.
On Quincy University's North Campus, a brand new space is ready to welcome future doctoral students. The occupational therapy and physical therapy labs are designed to simulate real-world clinical settings from pediatric care to hospital rooms and even home environments.
So these facilities mock what it's like to be in a clinic, either a pediatric clinic, a home health clinic, a hospital setting, outpatient clinics in both occupational and physical therapy. Has a lot of the equipment that we need and that we need to practice with the students so they can learn all the skills they need to be great entry-level clinicians when they graduate. Quincy University has redone this whole space, so it's all brand new, all state-of-the-art, and a really great space for students to learn.
The programs will be hybrid, allowing students to complete coursework online while traveling to Quincy twice a semester for intensive lab experiences.
I'm really excited to get this program up and running. I'm really excited about the hybrid component. I've been really passionate about hybrid education because I feel like it makes it accessible to more people.
The new doctorate programs are the first in Quincy University's history. Occupational therapy begins in January 2026, with physical therapy excited to follow soon after.
I've been an occupational therapist for 13 years. I've worked primarily in adult inpatient rehab, and this is my first job in academia. I've always been really passionate about OTD programs and capstone programs. I've taken up plenty of students who have been capstone, who have done their capstone projects with me, and so I'm really excited to see what I can bring to this program as well.
Thanks to a $4.2 million state grant, QU transformed unused office space into modern labs, classrooms, and faculty office. It's part of a long-term commitment to healthcare education. Freya Henson, QUTV, Quincy.
Thank you, Freya. A lot of new QU students will be in good hands with these new labs for the doctoral degree implementation.
New students are settling in for the 2025-2026 school year. There were a series of presentations lined up for the students. Service learning, student wellness, academic success resources help new students feel at home. Orientation also offered group activities and the teachings of the Franciscan values. The first week of the classes can be very stressful for some students. The week of welcome helps students get to know people around campus and to learn what there is to do at Quincy University. Women in Law held an event to give new students an inside look of what they represent on campus. The Women in Law House was full the first week of school. The members of the club thought of the idea of vision boards. This idea was because they wanted to visually see their goals for the year. As women kept piling in, the inspiration was flowing. Members of the club wanted women to feel welcome and have a place to come during the stressful week of classes. Pink and sparkly words were spread across the table to put on their boards.
So we thought about an activity that a lot of people would like, that they would want to do. And with this activity, you don't have to focus too much on it. And then we can still talk about our club, see if they get interested in participating. You don't need to be a political science major or criminal justice major to be part of this. If you're interested in the law in any shape or form, you can come here. And with this activity, we can talk more about this while doing something interactive, so it's not awkward.
Posters filled the walls that made the women feel more inspired to put some creativity into the activity. So many stickers and quotes almost made it hard for the women to choose what they wanted to put on their board. The energy was high and the innovation was surrounding the house, and the women were interacting so well.
To have everybody come together. We're all going to make mood boards, and that's really exciting. I really hope that some new people come in. I want people to feel welcome, and anybody can join Women in Law who's a criminal justice major, law major, anything like that. So I'm just really looking forward to seeing new people, meeting new people, and really making new friendships this year for.
As I walk down 18th Street right here, right next to Greek Row on campus, I come across the Women in Law House. The Women in Law House is for members of the club to have fun and have fun gatherings. A lot of the members live here, and they have fun nights just like the vision boards, and they like to have meetings to talk about their future of their club.
Oh, it's drying really fast. I have to start moving.
Crafting was definitely at an all-time high at the Women in Law House. Mod Podge was being used, and women were working together to design what they wanted their year to look like. Even though it was just a piece of paper with some words and stickers, these boards are supposed to represent something bigger. These women show what it is like to be a woman with a voice and want to make sure others do too. If you are interested in Women in Law, you can contact Cassie Phillips for more information about the group.
The man who shot a gun near a QU house party last fall has been sentenced to prison. 29-year-old Darren Collier of Quincy was sentenced to 7 years in prison. The Adams County State's Attorney says Collier was convicted of reckless discharge of a firearm, unlawful use of a weapon, and aggravated discharge of a firearm. Last October, Quincy police talked to a witness at a house party on North 18th Street near QU. The witness said Collier and a female tried to get into the party, but they were turned away. Witnesses said Collier fired multiple rounds while standing near a crowd. He was arrested in Missouri and still faces different charges there as well. Stay tuned and we will show you how donations are transforming campus and fueling big plans for the future.
A new home for the wrestling team is giving them a boost on the mat, and we will take a look on how QU's football team is looking a little more international this season.
Welcome back. The NCAA football team is being filled with international talent. Players coming from Spain to Ireland and even Italy.
The Hawks football team does not have to look inside the Midwest for talent. QUTV's Carter Linson reports on the increase in international athletes at QU.
The Gridiron on the corner of 20th and Sycamore is now home to more than talent from just the United States, as Hawks are now flying in from all around the world to play for the brown and gold. For example, there's a new freshman kicker, Connor McCamey. His journey started as a goalkeeper in Ireland, but he wanted to further his education in the U.S., so he started training with Leader Kicking in Dublin, and the rest is history.
Yes, well, Leader Kicking is run by Tag Leader. Tag Leader is from Ireland, and he is our coach. And for us boys, like, none of this would be possible without Tag and all the great work he does. Like, we always see him as like a stepbrother or like a stepdad. Like, that's what we see him like.
The same can be said for graduate kicker Javier Moreno Ortega, better known as Kiko around campus. From growing up in the mountains of Antequera, Spain, to becoming a foreign exchange student and starting to kick at a small town in Kansas, Kiko says that coming to the States was one of the best decisions he has ever made.
I really like the country, I really like the experience, and I was lucky enough to have a few offers to play soccer. So I also played football in high school, and I kind of fell in love with the game. So that's the main reason why I stayed here.
While these two men used agencies to come to the U.S., Filippo Petrillo, a transfer from the closed Limestone University, started off in a small village outside of Milan, Italy. He then went to the NFL Academy in Loughborough, England, and now wanted to complete his dreams of football in the United States, so he ended up in Quincy, Illinois.
So the experience at the NFL Academy was super good. We had a lot of great coaching staff, a lot of great football teams that we played. So he helped me develop my skills level, and then he helped me with the recruiting process. So I ended up in the United States because of that.
As the Quincy football team keeps adding records to the history books, we can expect more students from around the world like Connor, Kiko, and Flip to come to QU. Carter Lenson, QUTV News, Quincy.
You will be able to catch Kiko, Connor, and Flip the Hawks in their next home game against McKendree on October 4th for some homecoming football.
There are some new faces in the pool this fall. 3 transfers joined the Hawks this summer after some unexpected news. Grant Owens brings us a closer look into the new swimmers and their situation.
A new school year means new places and new beginnings. For 3 transfers, Quincy wasn't always in the plans. 3 swimming transfers were forced to leave their old school when the program suddenly got cut in late April of 2024. Union Commonwealth University in Barberville, Kentucky, an NAIA school, was the previous home for these 3 students. The school cut the programs because it sold the pool to the city for the school system to use full-time.
I would say it's pretty unfortunate that they cut both of the best teams in the school, and it's pretty unfair that they only told us in April to make it a pretty stressful one last month for us.
With the team only being 4 years old, Coach Brian welcomes all transfers with open arms to make a better and stronger team.
I like Quincy way better than my old school because Quincy is so much bigger than my old school. Quincy has actual things around the campus. My old school was in the middle of nowhere and they cut our team, so now we're living life.
With the Hawks' first meet coming up in a couple weeks, these 3 look to dive right in and make a splash. Grant Owen, QUTV News, Quincy.
Grant, what was it like to look further into your teammates' journey here at QU?
Yeah, it was interesting because the program at Union had their best season ever as a team, and then they just sold the pool and cut the team, which is kind of sad because they actually liked the school there and liked the academics and stuff. But they like it here better, I've heard.
What have you learned about your new teammates, and how are they going to make the team better this year?
I think they're going to be a great addition to the team. I think they're all from different areas of the world. The one's from Belgium, one's from Hungary, and one is from Jamaica. So I think they all got the new different cultural backgrounds, and they all have different disciplines in swimming. So I think the team will be a better, stronger team.
Awesome. Thank you. Good luck this season.
Thank you.
Quincy University broke a fundraising record for the 2024 to 2025 school year. The university raised nearly $20 million from different types of donations. President Brian McGee states that the most of the money was spent on campus improvements, as well as establishing the doctoral programs in physical therapy and occupational therapy. He said the donations reflect a deep belief in the university's mission. The university nearly doubled its past fundraising goal.
The $1.8 billion Powerball prize will be shared by 2 winners. One is from the state of Texas and is rumored to be a Texas University student. The other winning ticket was sold at a gas station not too far from here in North St. Louis County, Missouri. Both winning tickets will bring home $490 million after taxes. The QU wrestling team has a new spot on campus. A water accident in the HFC caused a remodeling of the 3-court area and opened the space for the team. Wrestling will now be able to practice in the HFC.
Yeah, we're supposed to be over there. We'll have little offices for all our, our assistants, our grad assistants, and then we'll have a little wrestling space on the bottom floor that our guys can utilize anytime. So that's going to be a game changer.
A new season of wrestling has begun. Preseason workouts for the Quincy University wrestling team started at a different spot than last year. The team has been able to practice in the HFC despite their area not being done.
It's been pretty convenient. Obviously, the dorms are right there. We have way more space. In our old facility, it's about a mat and a half. So we would have to run maybe 2 to 3 practices for safety. So now we got 2.5 full mats. We have 40 plus guys. It's been working out pretty good.
The old off-campus spot was a small elementary gym. With the bigger space, more offices, and an easier location, Coach plans to have the team spending extra hours putting in work.
We're excited to be in here. It's been working great, and we're hoping for a great season.
You know what, Michael? I can't wait to see whether I should wear a coat or bring an umbrella to my next class.
Yes, but it has been warmer to start this week. But will it last? QUTV's Carter Lindsay will break it down with our weather forecast ahead.
The Hawks are heating things up on the field, but what about the temperatures outside?
All right, Carter, what do you say? Let's take a look at the weather this week.
Oh, it's going to be a hot one this week. You guys will definitely not need your umbrella, but you might need a beach towel if you're going to go swimming in the Mississippi River. So let's take a look at the big board and see what's going on. Before I say anything, welcome back. Welcome back to a new semester. Welcome back to QUTV News. I know you got a little bit of new faces here on the QUTV News Network, but I'm still here. I'm still doing your weather, and it'll be a beautiful week for us here in the Q. But we do have some allergies still lingering around, so you want to make sure you're updated on your Dayquil, your NyQuil, your Benadryl, your what else is there? Sudafed, everything like that to make sure your allergies will be in check for this last couple of heat waves. As well as the late week, you're looking at Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. It will be a little bit very hot, so just don't worry about that. We'll be okay. Today, we have to average temperature of 84 degrees here at about 2 o'clock and a low tonight of 56. So that's just around our averages of 81 and 59. But you look at our almanac and you see our record for the highest we've ever had was back in 2013. We had 100 degrees. So luckily we're not there yet in heat, Mikey, but we're getting close. And the coldest was back in 1967. We've had different temperatures back then of 46 degrees right when the St. Louis Blues were about to play their first inaugural season. As well, we look at today's big board, 81 degrees, west-southwest winds, so those winds will not help you in that little bit of heat that we do have today, so make sure you are hydrated and make sure you have enough electrolytes in your system. If you're going to be participating in any sports today, make sure you have that. As well, you go looking tonight, 61 degrees, some little thunderstorms later, but nothing too bad. It will all be all right, but a little bit of wind as well coming from the southwest region. As well, Thursday, 78 degrees. That rain's going to cool us down a little bit. Not in the 80 degrees anymore, but still sunny skies. So if you're going tanning, make sure you bring your tanning lotion and your sunscreen so you do not get burnt out on Friars Field when you're tanning. As well, still minimal amount of wind, north-northeast wind for about 4 miles an hour, so don't worry about wind burn or anything like that. We look at the forecast for Friday and Saturday. That's when the heat starts to kick up. You have 93 degrees on Friday, as well as Friday evening, you're looking at about 69 degrees, and then Saturday, heater. When sprint football has to move everything back because of the 96-degree weather. So make sure if you're going to the Rock for that game, make sure you're bringing sunscreen, water, Gatorade, everything you need to stay cool so you're not baking in those bleachers in the Rock. As well, let's look at the extended 7-day forecast. I'll step out to make this a little bit easier for you. So Thursday, we have 88, like we said earlier. Friday, you get into those 90-degree temperatures. Saturday is when the apex of that heat will start at 96 degrees. Then it will start to cool down just a little bit on Saturday or on Sunday and Monday and Tuesday, and then back down to the 80s on Wednesday. And that is our forecast this week, guys.
Thank you, Carter. QU's NCAA football team recently traveled to Chicago, but the Hawks fell just short. Women's soccer split their opening road trip with a goal from their captains leading the way.
And the men's soccer team stays perfect to start the season. Stay seated to see whether or not they have broken into the top 10 in the nation. Fall sports teams practiced all summer, and now their seasons are in full swing.
That's right. QUTV's Lucas Laurentine is here now to tell us how everyone is doing.
Yeah, it's an exciting time for sports fans. We're on a college campus here. College sports are underway. Professional sports are also underway, and we're going to start with an update there. Former QU men's lacrosse player Connor Knock made program history on September 6th. Knock was selected 10th overall in the National Lacrosse League draft. The three-time honorable mention All-GLVC player is the first QU lacrosse player to be drafted into the NLL. Now moving on to sports that are currently in season here on campus. The Hawks NCAA football team took a trip to Chicago this past weekend. Unfortunately, they were not able to enjoy their time in the Windy City as much as they hoped. On offense, they were led by Braden Little, who had 232 passing yards along with 2 touchdowns. Helping him out on offense was Cameron Cox, who led the team in both rushing and receiving yards. The defense was led by Brock Wiley with 8 tackles. Helping him out was Caleb Ongst, who grabbed a big interception in the fourth quarter. And then after an eventful fourth quarter, the Lakers ultimately came away with the win, defeating the Hawks by a final score of 23-21. The Hawks' next matchup will be in Jefferson City against Lincoln University on September 20th. The regular season is now underway for both soccer teams here at QU. The women opened their season on the road against Purdue Northwest. The season got off to a hot start for the women when Rebecca Reinheimer netted a goal in the 2nd minute of the match, and Ella Wolford also added a goal in the 55th minute. This would not be enough as the Lady Hawks fell by a final score of 3-2. And 2 days later, the Lady Hawks would pack things up for a road trip to Michigan, where they took on Davenport University. Things remained goalless in this one until the 2 QU captains broke through. Ella Wolford netted one in the 70th minute to break the tie. Then 10 minutes later, Marina Oberschmidt followed up with a goal of her own. Freshman goalkeeper Devin Tracy also logged her first career shutout as the Hawks were able to get their first win of the season by a score of 2-0. And the men's soccer team, unlike the ladies, were given the luxury of staying at home to open the season, and they took full advantage of that. Similar to the women, the men came out firing with a Leo Can goal in the 4th minute of the match. That would be the first of 2 goals for him. Joining him was Carlos Moreno-Henao, who also added 2 goals. And finally, a Josh Nwosu goal in the 89th minute put the final touch on a shutout victory over the Parkside Rangers. Jake Offerman earned the shutout for his first of the season. The final score was 5-0. The men then had to hit the road for the first time this season. The Hawks headed out to take on Purdue Northwest. In the 13th minute of the match to make it 1-0. Henao would pop up again a little bit later, scoring all on his own straight from a corner kick in the 31st minute to make it 2-0 Hawks. And then Henao would show up for a 3rd time in the match as he would assist from a corner kick on this Matthias Bringadal goal in the 60th minute that gave the Hawks a little bit of breathing room late in the match. And that would be enough as the Hawks were able to remain a perfect 2-0 to start the season, winning by a final of 3-1. And after a successful weekend, the men's soccer team is now ranked top 10 in the entire nation. Now moving from the pitch inside to the volleyball court, the women's volleyball season is officially underway. The Hawks opened their season with a tournament in Springfield, Illinois. The season opener came against Kentucky Wesleyan College. The Hawks were led by Janelle Pye Blacknard with 10 kills. This would be a straight set win for the Hawks. And later on the same day, the Hawks took on Roosevelt University. They would be able to remain undefeated on both the season and the day. They were led again by Pye Blacknard, who also had help from Susanna Beretti. The Hawks would win their 2nd match of the day in straight sets again. Their final opponent of the weekend was the University of Central Missouri. While the Hawks lost their first set of the season, they still kept rolling. This game, they were again led by Pye Blacknard and Beretti with 16 kills apiece. Joining them on the attack was Aaron Maskey, who had 13 kills, and Elena Kasavica with 49 assists. The Hawks would win this game 3-1 to leave Springfield undefeated. Next up for the Hawks is another tournament on September 12th and 13th, and this time they will be headed up to Minnesota. And that wraps up all the sports for the week.
Thank you, Lucas. QU's athletes kicked off their year with a tradition that brings faith and community together.
Coming up next, we will take you inside the blessing of the athletes. A favorite tradition on campus is the blessing of the athletes. It's held at the beginning of the fall semester. QUTV's Lucas Laudentine takes us to the ceremony.
QU has an annual event known as the Blessing of the Athletes. This event takes part early in the fall and is meant to kick off the academic and athletic year for each team at the university. The night begins with the teams assembling in the Health and Fitness Center to take a picture in the formation of a Tau cross.
I know my mom really enjoys it back home, and she really enjoys the meeting, as she tries to tell me every time, is how it approaches and symbolizes a conversion into a new year.
After this, the teams head over to St. Francis Solanus Chapel, where the ceremony begins. There are always multiple student athletes and coaches invited to talk, before the head coaches head to the front of the church to take part in a ceremonious lighting of candles.
I like this part because it shows the camaraderie between everyone in the church and part of the QU community.
After everybody's candle is lit, the event concludes with an oath that is led by Athletic Director Josh Raby. Blessing of the Athletes is another tradition here at QU that helps give Quincy University the unique sense of community that all its sports teams have. Lucas Laudentine, QUTV News, Quincy. All the sports teams are looking promising this year and look ready for another exciting season.
Yeah, and the weather here in the Midwest sure keeps being surprising. But I will make sure to keep you ahead of the weather here on QUTV.
And from new programs and new facility, QU is starting strong this year.
That wraps up today's QUTV News. From big wins on the field to record-breaking fundraising here on campus, thanks for joining us for QUTV News this week. You can find more stories on QUmedia.net and on Facebook and Instagram. Have a great day.